Welcome back to ClearSpot. Here's a number that should terrify every solar asset manager: $10 billion. That's how much the global solar industry lost to asset underperformance in 2024 alone. The average US solar facility hemorrhaged $5,720 per megawatt. And that number is climbing, up 214% over the past 5 years. But here's what's really disturbing. Most of this loss is invisible. It hides behind a metric everyone thinks they understand: performance ratio. PR discrepancies in real-world calculations can swing by up to 10 percentage points. That's the difference between a healthy farm and one bleeding revenue. A 10-point PR error on a 50-megawatt facility? That's potentially $500,000 or more in undetected annual losses. Here's an uncomfortable truth that nobody talks about. It's not in your O&M contractor's interest to clean your irradiance sensors. Think about it. The dirtier your pyranometer or reference cell, the lower the measured irradiance. Lower measured irradiance means higher calculated PR, because you're dividing actual output by an artificially low reference yield. Your contractor hits their PR guarantee. You think everything's fine. Meanwhile, you're actually underperforming by 3 to 5%, and you'll never know it from PR alone. Irradiance measurement errors come from incorrect sensor positioning, like tilt or azimuth mismatch, missing or wrong temperature compensation, equipment degradation over time, calibration drift, plus or minus 5% error tolerance is common, data acquisition and processing errors, and even external factors like snow on sensors or bird droppings. The fix: implement independent sensor verification. Compare your on-site pyranometer against satellite irradiance data. If they diverge by more than 3% consistently, you have a sensor problem, not a performance problem. Schedule quarterly sensor cleaning and annual calibration. Document everything. If your O&M contractor controls sensor maintenance, you've created a conflict of interest. When your DC array produces more power than your inverter can convert, you experience clipping. The excess DC power is simply capped at the inverter's AC limit. This is intentional design, not a fault. Most utility-scale systems are built with DC to AC ratios of 1.1 to 1.4, meaning some clipping is expected during peak conditions. The problem: if you're calculating PR without accounting for clipping, you're comparing actual output against a theoretical maximum that was never achievable. How clipping masks performance? Research shows clipping creates masked PR, where reported PR is typically 2 to 5% higher than actual PR and can be as high as 200% of actual under worst-case conditions. Here's why. During clipped hours, your system underperforms the model by 10 to 15%, but the PR calculation shows around 100% because the model also accounts for the inverter cap. The inefficiency is hidden. The masking effect on degradation. Clipping partially mitigates the impact of module degradation on AC output. As modules degrade, clipping decreases, so your annual AC production stays relatively stable even as your panels lose efficiency. This is good for energy delivery, but bad for detecting problems early. The fix used duration curve analysis to quantify clipping hours and magnitude. Calculate DC side PR separately from AC side PR to isolate inverter effects, and document your design DC to AC ratio and expected clipping in your performance model. PR is typically calculated on an annual, quarterly, or monthly basis. This makes year-over-year comparison easy, but honestly, it creates a dangerous averaging effect. Small but significant anomalies get smoothed out. A string failure that costs you 1.4% of production on a 1-megawatt farm. That's virtually invisible in quarterly PR. But over a year, that's $2,000 to $4,000 in lost revenue, per string, per year. The math of masking goes like this. Imagine a 10-megawatt farm losing 5% production from an undetected inverter issue for 2 months. If PR is calculated annually, 10 months at 82% PR, 2 months at 77% PR, which is a 5% loss. Annual PR comes out to 81.2%. That looks fine. It's within tolerance. But you just lost about 100 megawatt hours and $5,000 to $10,000 in revenue because the problem was invisible at the annual level. The fix is actually pretty straightforward. Calculate PR at daily and weekly intervals for anomaly detection, even if it means accepting higher variance. Use rolling 30-day PR trends to spot emerging issues before they compound. Reserve annual PR for benchmarking and contract compliance only. And implement subsystem PR tracking at the inverter or combiner level to isolate problems faster. Just like long-time periods, spatial averaging masks localized problems. When you calculate a single PR value for your entire farm, you're blending high-performing sections, degraded strings, shaded areas, and failed equipment. A well-performing farm with one dead inverter might still show 78% PR within acceptable range. But that inverter represents concentrated loss that demands immediate action. Here's a real example. A 50 megawatt farm with 10 inverters, 9 inverters at 82% PR, 1 inverter at 50% PR due to a major fault. Farm-wide PR is 9 times 82% plus 1 times 50% divided by 10, which equals 78.8%. That passes most PR guarantees. But one inverter is producing 38% less than it should, costing you around $50,000 a year in lost revenue. The fix? Track PR at inverter level at a minimum. Weight individual inverter PR by installed DC capacity for accurate farm-level aggregation. Set inverter-specific PR thresholds that trigger alerts independent of the farm average. And consider string-level PR for high-value or problematic areas. The final 4 mistakes all relate to what gets excluded from PR calculations and, honestly, who controls the exclusion decisions. Mistake number 7. Poorly defined grid curtailment handling. Grid operators are increasingly curtailing solar output during oversupply. If curtailment periods aren't properly excluded, your PR tanks. But it's not your system's fault. The trap is who measures curtailment duration. If your O&M contractor self-reports, you have a verification problem. Mistake number 8. Force majeure without evidence standards. Contracts typically exclude force majeure events, like extreme weather, natural disasters, or civil unrest. But without clear evidence requirements, any underperformance can be attributed to weather. Best practice is to require documented evidence, weather data, SCADA logs, timestamps, for any force majeure exclusion. Mistake number 9. Spare parts delays. Some contracts exclude downtime while waiting for spare parts. This creates perverse incentives to delay repairs and extend exclusion periods. A better approach is to exclude only manufacturer-dependent delays beyond O&M control and set maximum exclusion caps. Mistake number 10. No defined minimum irradiance threshold. PR calculations become unreliable at low irradiance. Below 700 watts per square meter, measurement noise dominates the signal. The fix is to define a minimum irradiance threshold, MIT, in your contract. Only include periods above this threshold in PR calculations. Here's the bottom line. Performance ratio is essential, but it's also easily manipulated, frequently miscalculated, and inherently limited. The 10 mistakes we covered today, wrong sensors, missing temperature correction, dirty sensors, clipping, masking, time averaging, spatial averaging, and exclusion traps, collectively cost the industry billions annually. The average PV plant loses 8% of possible energy production each year, and that number is trending upward. If PR guarantees actually worked, this wouldn't be happening. The solution isn't abandoning PR, it's augmenting it. This is exactly where AI agents transform solar operations. Instead of calculating PR once per month and hoping for the best, intelligent systems can continuously validate sensor data against satellite benchmarks, detect anomalies at string level within hours, not months, automatically adjust for temperature, clipping, and exclusions in real time, and prioritize issues by revenue impact, not just PR deviation. At ClearSpot, we're building the autonomous intelligence layer that turns PR from a lagging indicator into a predictive tool. Because in a world where 8% losses are considered normal, the operators who see problems first will capture value everyone else leaves on the table. Like, share, and subscribe for more solar insights. ClearSpot, smart device, smarter decisions.